Well, hello everybody. I have something sitting underneath this heavy catalog. You'll see I had that non-stick mat there to make sure glue didn't stick to it. But I've been working on this little project. It just got lost in the shuffle. The insides are pretty much all done, but I needed something to wrap it with a book cover. So I'm using an envelope that I started by spray painting it with some inks, and I didn't really like the look of it. So I went with covering it with collaging paper all over it to cover it up. And this is going to be the little cover, and then the envelope flap will come around like that. So that's what we're working toward. I used a new glue on the papers. It was Elmer's glue, and it's clear. Really inexpensive at Walmart. It worked really well, but it takes a while to dry, just FYI. Um, and I've been sticking little things inside the pages that I think may go with the pages. For example, this little piece of linen fabric I'm going to glue it down and use it as a belly band on this page. And I think it breaks up the busyness of the collaged papers on this page. The insides of this I worked on a long time ago live here on the YouTube and Facebook page, but I think it got lost in the shuffle, so I'm just going to try to finish it up now. So for the next little while here in the video, you're going to see me putting on different types of tuck spots and this belly band and other decorative elements onto some of the pages. The pages ended up being really busy because I was collaging fabrics and book pages and scraps of paper that I had to create the signature for this book, and it just ended up being really busy. I think you'll even see some map pages in there, some magazine pages. So I tried to use these little elements on these pages to just break up the busyness. So here I'm going to take this plaid coral. It's just a piece of decorative cardstock, and I'm going to make it a tuck spot in this upper left hand side. So at first I was just gonna put glue on the top, and then I decided to put it on the side as well. So you'll see me lift this up and just add a little more glue. And then you just need to let that dry in its own time before you use it as a tuck spot. But you'll see it later on in the video. You'll see how that worked out. So for the next few minutes, you can simply watch. I'll speed up the video just a little bit so you get the gist of everything that's happening. Of course, if you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. Okay, so our next thing to do is to poke the holes in both the pages for the inside, which is called the signature. There's one of them, and the book cover. The pages are rather thick, so I'm going to separate them into two sections, even though it's going to be one section in the book. I'm just going to separate it into two sections to poke the holes. I have never used this tool before. This is from We Are Memory Keepers, and it's a bookbinding tool that comes with preset holes, little clamp that you can clamp your book down into this tool, and then it helps you with placement of the holes to make sure they're all in exactly the same place. So I get the book pages in there, and then I'm using my ruler. It is a 6-inch height, so I poked a hole at markers for the 1, 2, 3, and 4 inch. So you'll just see me every inch I'm going to poke a hole, and then I'll do the same for the rest of the signature pages and then the cover, and then you'll see me start to sew it together. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll let you watch this and listen to some lovely music. So once we've got the insides done and everything sewn together, it closes so nicely. I decided to cover up this inside of the flap so that I could do something with it. So that side you can see there, the blue wood grain. I had already covered that up with paper. It felt a little flimsy to me, or thin, that piece right there. So I decided to use this thick brown cardstock. It's floral on one side, brown on the other. I'm going to glue this down to this flap, cut it to size, and then we are going to put an eyelet in there. So I can show you one way that I like to use using an eyelet for the closure for the book, using a ribbon or jute rope to close the book. So you can sit back, relax, and watch this part of it. Of course, asking any questions or just commenting by typing in a little comment. I'd love to hear from you and know what you think, what if you've done this before, any of these techniques, or if you're new to it and you've not tried it before. I'd love to hear from you too. So the last thing I want to do, and the finishing touch on this, is to put that eyelet in this flap. And I'm just going to use a silver eyelet that came with the set with the crocodile. I got 4 different colors of eyelets, so I'm going to use a silver one. We're going to place it here on this flap, and then I will use this to hold the jute rope that will be the closure for this little book, this envelope junk journal. I like using this option. I sometimes will put the eyelet in the back cover of the book versus the front. It's really versatile. You can use ribbon. You don't have to use jute. I just use whatever makes sense and feels like it matches the theme of the books that I create. But I hope you enjoy seeing this method, because I don't know that I've seen anybody else use it before, so feel free to use it and enjoy it. I want to thank you for being here. Remind you to hit the subscribe button so you get notifications of new videos here on the page or the channel, and have a blessed day.